Hey everyone, this is Keith Geiling,
And Dean Dittenber.
and you're here with the Playing Through podcast, sponsored by Move Faster Golf.
If you're wondering what Move Faster Golf is or how to become an official MFer, listen to our Playing Through podcast to find out.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Playing Through, sponsored by Move Faster Golf.
Welcome back, MFers. Glad to have everybody back.
Yep, and today's little episode is going to be about some stuff we were talking about, Dino and I, was basically like rules and etiquette and just certain stuff like that and other kind of idiosyncrasies of golf that maybe we agree with and maybe we don't.
Let's expand on that. It's the rules and idiosyncrasies that drive us crazy.
Yeah,
Let's just go there.
Yeah.
Let's just push it to where we're already headed.
First and foremost, one of the rules that drive me crazy is out of bounds. And let me say, if anybody like a beginning golfer, whatever, out of bounds, if you play out of bounds correctly, if you hit a shot like off the tee and it might go 200 yards, 250 yards or whatever, and it goes out of bounds, the proper way to play that is to re-tee. If it's out of bounds, you re-tee where you're at and you drop to hitting three from where you just hit it, no matter where. So out of bounds, that's called stroke and distance.
Yep.
So in my personal opinion, that's a time killer for one.
It's death.
So what's your thoughts on that exactly?
I agree with you. It's time death. You when you start talking about everyday Joes and re-teeing balls and stuff, it can turn into a disaster, and it kills the fun of the game for them too. I mean, so
kills some fun, kills some scores, kills some time.
I've seen clubs fly because of that. Multiple tee shot
100%.
disasters.
Well, when it comes to out of bounds, it's like, so a difference between out of bounds is like I just explained, stroke and penalty and going out and re-teeing, and the difference between a lateral hazard. If you see like a water or woods that's red staked, wherever it went in at across the line to the hazard, you can drop right there. So that might be the difference of 250, 230, 280 yards.
Yep.
So that not only is it, I mean, there's a lot of out of bounds in golf courses that are actually starting to go away a little bit, trying to put more laterals in.
Good.
But it's definitely, it drives us crazy because it's like, and a lot of people we golf with don't even play, they play out of bounds as a lateral hazard.
Pretty much. And again, when you're golfing with your buddies, it's great to keep play move. I mean, if you're doing, but it's one of those that you go, this is just a killer of time.
Exactly.
Just
killer of fun, killer of score. Okay, Dino, then real quick.
Not that I've ever had that problem.
Yeah, right. What is your thoughts? And we might be a little disagreement on this. What is your thoughts on divots in the fairway?
I think the idea of keeping it in a divot and hitting it is probably outdated.
Really?
I think so a little bit. Now, I mean, don't get me wrong. I've done it before to people. It's like, oh no, hit it as it lies,
right?
Man.
Yeah.
But I think for the most part, it's one that most of us have a hard time making good contact with the ball to begin with. So why make it worse on us than it is? I know you have some views too.
Well, the whole divot thing, and I actually had an instructor tell me here once. He's like, we were kind of going back and forth. I was like, I think if you said you don't have to hit out of a fairway divot, you're just opening up a can of worms for like what lies where. And I understand that part, but like he's explained, is like the person like in a tournament, for example, like we're talking competitive golf.
Yep.
If the guy in front of you tees off and hits a perfect drive down the middle, and then he hits a wedge or whatever and takes a big old beaver tail divot, all of a sudden the guy after him might hit the same exact drive down the middle and land in that divot. And that's kind of, I understand that talking point of saying that's unfair.
You're not playing the same course.
Exactly.
I mean, he drove.
That's the argument for it.
His driver in front of you, his second shot, he hit off, fairway grass, and now you're hitting out of a divot. So if the rules are made to make it equal, then to me, move it out of the divot, get it out of it, because it's not the same course that you played. I'm playing a different golf course now.
You're absolutely right. And the one thing when it comes to golf, that with equality, when it comes to professional tournaments, especially rears its head the most in like the British Open or the Open.
Sure.
Is basically the draw. Like some people are going off in the morning.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden 4 or 5, 6
not as windy.
Later, it's like 30-mile-per-hour winds. It's raining. And that's understandable.
We've dealt with that. Morning golf there is 100%. Very different from afternoon golf. Completely different golf game. But again, that's one of those. You're with a group of buddies. I mean, most of the time, what are we telling them? Man, get that thing out of there. And again, it's another one. It can be a time killer. Mm-hmm. So if you're out there and you top it or you do something, right. I mean, it's another one of those things that you go, it's probably more outdated and it's something they need to look into a little bit.
Yeah, I'm sure. So
Hey,
my opinion, I'm 6 one way, half dozen the other.
Sure.
I really stand in the middle. I don't know.
I mean, a pro tournament, I mean, if you're playing for millions of dollars, I can understand where those guys are like, you hit it where it is. Sorry.
So what's another rule you were complaining to me about today?
Grounding clubs and sand traps.
Yeah.
What the hell is the benefit of that?
I don't know. The rule against grounding, so the rule there is if your ball is in the bunker,
Yep.
you are not allowed to take your sand wedge or whatever club you're hitting and touch the sand. You're not allowed to touch the sand until after your ball is gone, which is, I don't understand it.
I don't know the benefit. I mean, everyday Joes, no offense, we should be able to go outside and take 17 swaths into that freaking sand. I mean, if you ask a golfer, an everyday guy golfer, one of the worst things that they look for, what is that? Hitting out of sand.
Yeah, bunkers are not easy for an average.
No, it's very hard. So to me, again, even if you touch it, I mean, I don't understand how that benefits in any way, shape, or form. They should be able to draw lines where they want to hit. I mean,
yeah. Well, we had an episode we were talking about the bifurcation of the ball. I mean, they really do need to just have, and it's for the most part, rules are rules. We understand it, but like the amateur game / the beginner golf / high handicap golf, buddy golf there definitely has to be some lax on a lot of those rules.
I mean, even I think if we want to propagate golf in general for kids too, it's like do all you can to make the game enjoyable for them so they want to continue to go out there.
100%.
It's like going fishing. If you take them to a pond that has not a single fish in it,
right? How
long are they going to be interested in fishing? Zero, right? This is the same thing. I've even noticed some golf courses, like we've talked about tee boxes, that kind of stuff. They put kids' tee boxes up there now. So, like, if we really want to push this to our next generations, make it enjoyable when they're kids and understand, then you teach them the rules and the etiquettes. And now, etiquette's one thing, right? You're not running around all over on the greens and whatever. But I think that's another thing that really helps the game. Because hitting some shots is just hard in general. Yep. And again, I would bet if we put a poll out, hey, let's do that. Put a poll out there. The shot you hate to hit the absolute worst. Now, I bet you sand is going to be one of the top ones.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And those are rules that kind of we play around with. There's just a few of probably a lot. We could probably have 7-hour episodes on rules of golf that are stupid or just don't make sense. But
it's just it gets to a point where you go, if there's a definite advantage to doing it, I could see where you go, okay, I understand, but there's no benefit there.
No, not at all.
Zero.
Okay, so we're talking about rules, and obviously golf has like I said, many rules, but they got some different etiquettes.
Oh, etiquette!
Some different etiquettes.
So much we do love them.
Yeah, exactly. Etiquette-wise, what's
I'm starting with you.
Okay.
Let's start with you because I'm pretty sure I know where you're going to go with the first one.
Okay.
So let's talk about one of your favorite etiquettes. Is attire. Let's talk a little bit about attire and how do you feel about attire and the collar rules and all the stuff that goes on in golf.
Well, hoodie here. I'm going to say hoodie.
Mr. Hoodie.
Yeah. So basically, I mean, I get it. I mean, cut off jeans, tank tops, that type of stuff.
Okay. Let's preface this whole conversation with we're not talking about cut off sleeves or the WTF t-shirts with the cut off sleeves or cut off jean shorts. Not talking about that. This is about like you go out there with nice attire because no offense. I mean, okay, he's wearing a nice Paynes Valley hoodie.
Yep.
They sell that in the pro shop at Paynes Valley. Yeah. Why am I not allowed to wear it on a golf course?
Exactly.
If you're selling it,
that etiquette, when it comes to apparel and dress, that's actually softened a lot too.
It has.
Now we have Live Golf; they can wear shorts out there. Actually, a lot of the PGA Tour when they're here a few years ago, Rory McIlroy's wearing a hoodie.
Yep.
So collared shirts, I don't think there's like we said, cut off sleeves and certain T-shirts or whatever. That's fine. No, but to have a certain collared shirt or whatever it is, I mean, there's no different than. I remember, this is a dumb story, I'm going to tell it anyway, eating at a nice steakhouse back in the day, and we go in there, I was like, probably a dress code, yep, it's got to have, collared shirt and this and that, okay. Well, I go in, and there's this guy, might have been a little sloppy looking. He's got his collared shirt on, it's got a stain, and you name it, it's like, but he can wear his collared shirt with a stain, but I can't wear this nice shirt that might not have a collar. Just, it kind of falls in the same thing as golf. Yeah. It's like, I just think that it's softening a bit, and we like that. And there's just a lot. Same with jeans. I mean, there's a certain amount of courses that aren't going to let you wear jeans, and that's fine. But then when you start say, oh, you got to wear this, but it can't be covered. It's like it's just starting to get. starting to be too snobby. We want to open the game more.
I will say this.
The game,
I will say this as an addition to it. Be course appropriate, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's another thing that can solve a lot of your angst about what you're wearing is, if you're going to go play, we'll just use one of our, like Arcadia Bluffs here in Michigan.
Yep.
Top-notch golf course. It's probably always rated in the top 50.
Yeah.
I think it has been since the day it got open. Dress appropriately if you go to that place. And we talked about it. We have some of our local golf courses here that this is where you go have your bachelor parties at.
Right.
I mean, it's okay to go out there with some shorts and maybe a T-shirt on and play that golf course. But again, the idea of being so strict, telling you have to wear a collar, and like you said, then you got the guy with a big stain on the side of his shoe.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, maybe not.
Well, here's, and when it comes to etiquette, I mean, if anybody's golfed or, if you're listening to this, whatever, if you're a seasoned golfer or just be getting into it, and here's a big one, and it doesn't affect me at all. Talking or conversing amongst friends while you're swinging or anything else, that is a big one. Some people are so anal about it. What's your thoughts?
I mean, I've had people try and talk to me when I'm swinging. It doesn't bother me. I mean, to me, it doesn't bother me.
You can ask me what I had for breakfast in my backswing. I do not give a shit.
Nope. I mean, and I'm sure maybe some people, their concentration level they want, but you kind of know that amongst your group too.
Exactly.
I mean, in our group, I know one thing that we've started seeing music. I know we're playing music a lot more when we play.
That's so all the Bluetooth speakers now, they're magnet right to your cart and everything else.
Or how about the speakers that are on the carts that are Bluetooth to your phone, which we
all
just
the
had
new carts. Yeah.
Our last Bucky Cup outing, the carts had speakers right on them built in for you to hook your phone to.
Phone.
Yep. Listen to music. So I love it. I actually personally enjoy that.
100%.
And again, the conversation, that doesn't really bother me.
No, not at
I can hit it bad whether you talk to me or not.
Yeah, exactly. I can hit it good and bad, whether you're talking or whether you're silent, whatever.
If I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, I mean, and I've learned this from you, from the thing. If I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, it probably really won't matter that much.
Well, if I get up to the ball and everybody's like, shh, I get nervous. I was like, no, don't shh. Start talking louder. Like, I'm fine.
The Happy Gilmore.
And there's a lot, like little etiquette stuff, like, and here's another one, walking in somebody's line or through line when it comes to on the putting green.
Yeah.
And the big deal, and I get that, you don't want to just walk all over somebody's line and trample on it. But at the end of the day, too, that rule is in place because of old school metal spikes with old school greens that literally
they beat the greens to death.
Beat the hell out of it.
The greens basically got aerated every day.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, from people walking around them with the spikes.
Yep. So I understand. So yeah, I mean, we don't really care, especially beginners. If you're walking around, don't worry about lines and through lines, but because you're wearing either tennis shoes or soft spikes, that really doesn't have much effect.
And I mean, I guess the only thing I've ever watched was like being right around the cup walking. Don't step right on the edge of the cup or
or just
that to me is a little different. But like I've seen people jump over my line and I go, it ain't gonna make a
exactly.
difference.
What does it matter?
It ain't gonna make a difference anyway.
The one thing I am asking, this is a cry for help. Ball mark on the green, like when your ball hits the greens and you create that little mark or divot. We need to start taking care of those people.
Yeah.
Use a tee, use a divot tool, whatever. Just literally just kind of go in and have a little teeny movement to where you can prop that up a little bit and tap it down with your putter. I don't know how many courses we go to, and you might walk up to the greens, and there might be anywhere from 8 to 20 marks on there that nobody fixed.
This sounds kind of crazy. I usually walk onto a green and I tell myself, find 5 marks and fix them.
Exactly.
And that's not mine plus 5 extra.
Yeah.
We got to start taking better care of them. I mean, that's impacting all of us as golfers. That's not just a slob thing. That impacts us really badly. And again, guys, golf course maintenance and stuff, if we don't want to start paying $75 a round for your local golf course, remember they pay people to go out and have to fix all that stuff.
Right, exactly.
To take care of them. So, I mean, that's a simple thing. It takes you 15 seconds to fix your divot marks.
Another thing that's not in the actual rule, but it's part of the etiquette, is like a lot of whether it's tournaments I've played in or just rounds of golf as far as time.
Yeah.
You know what the actual time is for 4 hours that they usually? It's 4:15 to 4 hours and 30 minutes.
I was going to say I shot 4 to 4.5.
My God.
Yeah, 4.
I'm telling you what, 4:15, and our whole premise at MF for Golf, move faster golf. Move it.
That would be the number that, and again, there's so many things. Just being prepared I still will say is the number one. Just be prepared when you're out there. if you have somebody shooting, you don't have to be standing there watching them, hit their shot. Get yourself ready, be ready to move. That alone saves you an immense amount of time. It just does.
And I tell you what, in my opinion, and probably your opinion too, I'm going to speak for you. Literally, 4 hours and 15 minutes to 4 hours and 30 minutes for 18 holes of golf for a 3 or foursome is about the equivalent of me going to the expressway and having a speed limit of about 43 miles per hour.
Yeah, I mean, most of the time, what are we, threes? Somewhere in the, we're around 3.
We're probably 3.5.
I was going to say 3.5.
And if we have 4 and we have, maybe maybe higher handicaps, probably 3:45, maybe.
Yeah. I mean,
but
it's
we
usually,
also
you can usually work it under 4 hours pretty easy.
Easy, yes.
You can work it under 4.
We can do 3 of us, and we can do 3:15 easy.
Yeah. Yep.
With carts and everything. If we don't have carts, 3.5 maybe for
Land.
foursome.
I don't walk.
Yeah, neither do I.
I don't walk.
I'm getting to be the golf snob. I was like, wow, what is that? Where's my cart?
Dude, I go to the gym for exercise.
Exactly. I don't play golf for exercise. We talk about that all the time.
That is not my purpose. So again, yeah, even with walkers, I mean, if you can still keep it well under at a 3.5 hour pace.
Move at 4:15 to 4:30 is bullshit.
I agree. I mean, but if I'm going to a group, like if you're going to like an outing, dude, you just know it's going to take forever anymore.
Scrambles
that's why I said earlier when I said,
crazy.
But I plan on 4 to 4.5 hours. And I'm happy at 4.5 hours sometimes to get through a scramble.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, hey,
shoot me.
We're all there to enjoy a scramble, right? You're there to enjoy your friends and stuff, but you're still playing. Keep the game moving. Just keep moving.
Well, so that's this episode's kind of just touching a couple of those goofy rules and etiquettes, but a couple of things just to end. Literally, 2 I got for you, Dino. And I'll let you cover one. I'm going to cover one. The first is going to be aerated greens on a golf course. I tell you what, it needs to be done. Some courses do it once a year. Most
100%
do it
agreed.
twice a year. They have to be done for the health of the greens and everything else.
Yep.
But let me tell you, if golf courses out there, if you aerate the greens, obviously it just needs to be stated on your website or when people call for tee time, whatever else, and you have to drop the price. My opinion, you have to. If it's
100%.
a $60 round of golf, it needs to be $40. If it's a $100 round of golf, it needs to be $65. I don't know. Whatever your price drop has to be, it has to be decent.
We all know aerated greens are going to completely and totally change the game.
Exactly.
You're scoring at the end.
For that probably week, at least that week, that first 7 to 10 days.
After that, agreed.
They start to heal. Yeah.
I mean, I know I've called a lot of golf courses, and they'll tell you, hey, we just aerated the greens. They don't drop their price, though.
Yeah, exactly, right, exactly. So what's the last one we'll finish that we both hate?
Cart path only.
Right.
Sorry.
Another one we understand, when bad weather, whatever, we understand it.
True.
But if you're going to go cart path only, and you might not have to do the price break that a aerated greens should be.
Yeah.
But you better be dropping the price a little bit.
Yeah. I don't walk. I'm sorry. I know you look at me and go, maybe you should walk more, but the idea is that look, if I pay for a cart, 100% agree. If we've had rainstorms and stuff where it's sloppy and muddy,
right.
I don't want carts out there beating up the golf course either. That's not what the intent is. But we've played a lot of times where it's been cart path and you're going, I have no idea why. One, and then if it's going to be something they're going to do a lot in a course because they really want to keep this maintenance high, that's fantastic. And you got to think about the cost of that because I'm really not getting the benefit of having a cart.
Yeah, and it's golf rule that if the cart path runs along the right, I am going to snap hook pull it all the way left to where I have to carry my bag or 17 clubs over to be able to.
Yeah, because you have no idea what you're walking
right.
into over there, so you walk in with all these clubs.
Yeah. Well, there you have it, guys. Another episode playing through. So, we just kind of want to get on here and talk about some rules and etiquette and stuff like that. So we'll end this episode and basically say, come along for the ride and like and subscribe. And I'm Keith Geiling.
I'm Dean Dittenberg. Remember, guys, come on, be official MFers. Spread the word. Let's do this. Let's make this game enjoyable and get things moving.
Funner, faster. Okay, bye.
Later.
Thanks, everyone, for sticking around and hearing what we had to blab about here at Playing Through.
And remember, if you want to become an official MFer, please like and subscribe.